welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Parlay Busters of the Week. And in this edition of Parlay Busters of the Week, I'll be doing UFC Fight Night, Sterling versus Zalal. So, Parlay Busters for this week, got three of them. Three, that's six. This is three. But yeah, three for this week. Alright, so let's start off the first one. First one is Valuela. So, I'll say it again. When I say Parlay Busters of the Week or the Parlay Busters of the Week, I'm saying this person will crash your parlay. Like you picking them will mess your parlay up. So I got three. So the first one is Victor Valuela. It's not like he's this promising prospect. Like I said, he could win at the end of the day, but he should not be the favorite. And nothing he's done has said, oh, this guy beats Max Griffin. He's not this great offensive grappler. He's not this technical striker. He's a very hittable guy that's there to be hit. He got destroyed on the Contender Series. And they brought him in here for this fight because, he brings it. That's pretty much it. Like, he brings the fight, and that's why they brought him back. He brings the fight, and that's why they brought him back. So, that is why he is here. It's not because, oh, he's so skilled or he's so this or that. He's a guy that's going to come into your... I stopped that before I even got there. But, yeah. He's got to go bring the pressure. He hates defense as far as his own defense. He probably hates other people's defense as well because I think everybody hates other people's defense. But he hates his own defense as well. And that's the rare occasion. Like, everybody hates other people's defense. They wish everybody would just let them get hit like Valuela does. But, yeah, he's there to be hit. But he has he don't have no technical upside over Griffin. I say only he has youth upside, but it's not even like this outstanding, talented youth. I feel like this fight that Griffin should win. It should be taking advantage of the striking deficiency. And low-key, Griffin probably could even out-grab him and get some takedowns in there as well, just to slow down the young guy, or the younger guy, and thwart him. Maybe slow him down, clinch him up, be a veteran like he is, tie him up, get some takedowns, hug him in his cage, throw some little elbows in there, some knees to the body, and then go back to just sticking him as he comes forward with his chin up in the air and swinging wild. So yeah, Valuela should not be the favorite. All right, the next one is Montel Jackson. That's a pretty good one. Montel Jackson, small favorite here. He might shift to the underdog, but to the point of this one, Montel Jackson, solid father, solid talent. But he has had multiple fights where he has got wrestled up. He had issues with wrestling against Figueiredo, a former flyweight. He had issues with it in his debut against Ricky Simon. And he also got wrestled up by a smaller fighter, a European fighter. I keep forgetting his name, and I keep not looking it up. But I remember watching the fight like, damn. I know the guy was savvy and all that stuff, but that should not have been somebody you're getting wrestled up by. And Barcelos is an underrated wrestler. I think he was like a state champion in Brazil. We have seen him wrestle up Side Nurmagomedov and some other guys as well. But yeah, not Rick Simon, but Ryan Barcelos, he's in that same category. He's a veteran. He has a lot of experience inside the UFC and outside the UFC. He's savvy. Remember, he really kind of in the same bucket. Like Ricky Simon's the guy that like same pocket. All the guys that beat him kind of been in that same pocket. What Figueiredo did was a champion, but as far as at bantamweight, in that same pocket, like an older veteran that's well-rounded, a multi-threat, and is efficient and can wrestle at a high level. And that has been an issue for Montel Jackson. And yeah, so I think Ronnie Barcelos will be able to exploit that grappling issue that has been a consistent issue for Montel Jackson. And yeah, if you're thinking about picking Montel Jackson, be very wary of that. If you're picking Montel Jackson, not picking him, but like put him in a parlay, because this is parlay busters. It's not just picking. This is not money line busters. This is parlay busters. Like, be wary of putting these people in your parlays. Be wary of putting Montel Jackson in your parlays. Then lastly, Marcus Buchecha. Be very wary of putting him in your parlay. So I'll get straight to the point on this one. Montel Jackson, not Montel Jackson. I'm my brain all over the place. But Marcus Buchecha, but Ryan Spann. But Marcus Buchecha, but Ryan Spann. But Marcus Buchecha. But Ryan Spann, people look at Ryan Spann, oh, he's this, he's that. Or he's not this, he's not that. Ryan Spann's initial art was BJJ. Not to say he's on Buchecha's level, but we've seen another person that background was grappling and be pretty mediocre, be able to really stall out Buchecha and beat him. And I think Ryan Spann, at the very least, can address the grappling and have another semi-lukewarm performance that the other guy did to beat Buchecha, addressing the grappling, and then maybe a little bit of wall install, a little bit of grappling. It's like this, making him forced to do extra things that he's not kind of like. He's a BJJ guy. He's not an MMA fighter. He has not really fully developed a BJJ to MMA fighter. He probably never will fully develop it to an MMA fighter. Or maybe be like when he's 40 or something. And then he'll start developing this, be a good mid-tier heavyweight, but never be that upper echelon heavyweight. So, but yeah. So the same way with anybody, you take them out, you take a strike out of the element, make them grapple when they're comfortable grappling. It's gonna tire them out. You make a grappler, especially a BJJ guy, like they like to be on the ground. They don't like BJJ is not cage grappling. It's not trying to battle for underhooks against the cage. That's not BJJ grappling. There are BJJ MMA grapplers, like MMA BJJ grapplers, MMA wrestlers, but guys that are from pure BJJ, pure wrestling, that's not stuff they do. So they start doing stuff like this and fight. It wears them down. I can see Ryan Spann doing that. Address the grappling, and yeah. But the key point is Ryan Spann's initial background is BJJ. It's not striking. And when we look at Ryan Spann, how he loses, a good chunk of these fights might end on the ground, but I think the biggest issues for Ryan Spann have been his chin, other strikers, and cardio. But at heavyweight, the cardio issue is not a big issue because everybody heavyweight cardio is not light heavyweight cardio, is not middleweight cardio, is not lightweight cardio. Heavyweight has the lowest, output because they're the biggest guys. And Buchecha is definitely not a cardio fiend or by any means. He's on a lower spectrum. So Ryan Spann has better cardio here. Cardio and pacing should not be any issues for Ryan Spann, or should not be any bigger issues than it was at a light heavyweight. It's not. I'm not saying this fight is not an issue. And striking, Buchecha has not really even developed any. When I look at striking, I don't see any like. Did you develop a jab? Did you develop a right hand, overhand? I haven't seen him develop anything really to any decent level. He's probably trained it, but nothing has been developed to a respectable level. So I think Ryan Spann should be able to address the grappling, should be able to address the striking. And again, the cardio is not there as much. The cardio issue is not relevant as much here. The striking in this fight is not relevant as much. But none of the key issues for Ryan Spann are there. Cardio, I guess cardio and striking. I added a third a little bit. Cardio and striking, those are the two main things, aren't there in this fight. Buchecha can't really strike, so that's not there. In cardio, Buchecha cardio is worse, and it's a heavyweight. So I think Ryan Spann would do a good job of addressing the grappling of Buchecha and make him have to do things that he's uncomfortable dealing with. Whereas Ryan Spann is a veteran of like 20 plus fights. So he's a veteran, and he's a more fleshed out martial artist. He might not be as good as he could be or as good as people want him to be or as he would want himself to be, but he's definitely a more than fleshed out, more than experienced enough fighter. I think he'll be able to address the grappling of Buchecha and force him to fight in areas he's uncomfortable with. I can definitely see a stoppage, but the main thing is I think he has the intangibles and the better makeup, the better assortment of skills and abilities and experiences here to beat Buchecha. So you're thinking about, Ryan Spann fade him. He's a mook. He's a moron. That is not a good enough reason. Or Buchecha, look what we did with Kenny Nzechukwu. Nzechukwu back. I think Nzechukwu don't really even have a real background. I think he just came in is a clean slate. He came to MMA, and also he got real skinny legs as well. So that's another thing. But Ryan Spann has a bigger physical body as far as overall, so he has the thick legs, and plus he has the BJJ background. I think he's probably physically stronger than Nzechukwu, but yeah. But I'm not saying he's a better fighter than everybody. Stylistically wise, I feel like he stylistically matches up better with Buchecha. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, so the parlay busters for this week are Marcus Buchecha, Montel Jackson, and Victor Valuela. So if you're considering those guys, your parlay, I'm not saying telling you how to bet or whatnot, but be wary because these guys will likely bust your parlay. So again, Montel Jackson, Marcus Buchecha, and Victor Valuela. And those are the parlay busters of the week. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.